Hello! So today you're going to have a little look at style, okay, which is really important for understanding how different texts use different techniques basically to show what they mean or what a composer means. So what is style? Now, whenever we're creating a text or anyone else is creating a text, the composer or we have to think very specifically about the way we want that text to look. So a filmmaker, for instance, will choose really specific, lighting or music or script in order to make their story make sense or make their film make sense. So style then is simply a way in which composers use language, structure, lighting, music, design, and a whole range of other techniques to make their meaning clear. We can sometimes notice the style of a composer which becomes common among many of their texts. Alright, so let's have a little look here. We've got two texts here, the beginning of books. So chapter 1 here we've got The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. And over here we've got Stardust by Neil Gaiman, the same author. So let's have a look, different books. Let's see if we can see the similarities in his style though. So here we've got chapter 1, How Nobody Came to the Graveyard. There once was a hand in the darkness, and it held a knife. Okay, so really creepy and suspenseful. We've got our own little beginning to the chapter here, and then he comes in and he starts just with one really quick sentence to build suspense straight away. And if you look over here, the way that they're formed or the structure is the same. So we've got our chapter, and then we've got this little section here that comes just before we start the actual chapter itself. So, chapter 1 of Stardust says, in which we learn of the village of Wall, and of the curious thing that occurs there every 9 years. Then we start. There once was a young man who wished to gain his heart's desire, in big capitals. Notice how he uses capitals a lot here and a lot here to try and get his point across. So the heart's desire is obviously really important because it is capitalized. But two really different books, because they're written by the same author, you can see he's got a really specific style. He likes to build suspense and keep us guessing right from the very start. And he kind of likes to give us a little bit of background information here in these two beginnings here. Okay. It also happens with film. So we're going to have a little look now at two films by a really famous director you guys might know called Tim Burton. A lot of his films or his style is really similar across a lot of his films. Alright, so the first one is The Nightmare Before Christmas. We're just going to watch the trailers.
Welcome to an extraordinary world filled with magic and wonder. Open your mind and let yourself go to a place where every day is Halloween and every night Jack Skellington, I am the Pumpkin King, dreams of something different. What is this? It's someplace new. Jack, look out! Whoa! What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack, the Scissor Star. What is this? Haven't you heard of peace on earth and goodwill towards men? Touchstone Pictures presents the enchanting story of two very special dreamers and the holiday spirit that brought them together. From the imagination of Tim Burton comes The Nightmare Before Christmas.
And what did Santa bring you, honey?
Okay, so you can see he's got a really twisted sense of humor. He uses monsters a lot. He's got really gangly sort of characters. They've got long arms, monsters everywhere. But we kind of get the sense that they're good monsters, that they're really creepy, but they're actually really nice. Okay, so let's have a look and see if we can see any similarities between his next one, which is called The Corpse Bride. And just from the title, you'll probably be able to tell there are going to be some similarities.
They were due to be married girl they'd never before met. His parents were thrilled. Hers were filled with regret. But in a moment of panic, Victor desperately fled, and by a grave misunderstanding, married the corpse bride instead.
You may kiss the bride.
From Tim Burton, creator of The Nightmare Before Christmas,
Maggots.
comes a tale of wit, charm, and strife
I'm not dead.
about a timid young man and the love of his life.
Victoria!
Tim Burton's Corpse Bride.
To the newlyweds.
So you can tell me what the similarities are. You have a sheet there. I've said what's going on in The Nightmare Before Christmas, so have a think about what the similarities are between the two. Watch them both back and see how many you can find, because there are plenty. But as you can see, the style of Tim Burton is quite similar across his animated films, and it's the same with his motion pictures. So let's have a little look at, whoops, back we go, some of his motion pictures. All right, we've got Coraline here, which is an animated picture or animated film that he's also directed. Very similar to the other two. But I don't know if you guys have seen some of these, you might know what his motion pictures are like. And go and watch some because they're actually really good. Edward Scissorhands, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Sleepy Hollow, which is a really creepy one about the Headless Horseman. Right, so he's really into monsters and as this word tells us, peculiar things. And that's his style. He uses certain lighting, he uses certain comedy, so script and language, to make us sort of realize that this is his work. He's very quirky and a bit strange. All right, now we've got the Magnificent Seven down here, and The Eagle Has Landed, which were directed by John Sturges, the guy that directed The Great Escape. So you can see, even just from these posters, the Magnificent Seven, they fought like 700. All right, kind of that idea of the rebel, of men who are up against the odds, much like we had in The Great Escape. It's a Western, it's a cowboy film. So it's kind of, he loves his action, that sort of style. And here we have another war film that he's made, okay, The Eagle Has Landed. So he obviously had a specific genre that he liked to work in. And the style is going to be the same because of the genre that he worked in. So go and have a look at some of those if you want to. Okay, so why is style important? Techniques in films such as lighting, music, dialogue, and camera angles, whether it's an animation or a motion picture, all help us to gain meaning and to allow films to be entertaining. Written texts use language and punctuation, structure paragraphs, and a whole bunch of other things, as we saw with the Neil Gaiman example at the beginning, to help us understand the feelings of characters and the ideas of those who wrote it. All right, so basically the style of something allows a composer to put their mark on it, okay, to make it theirs, but also to make sure that we understand what's happening, what genre the film is or the book is, and it allows us to understand what's going on. And that's important for us because it can greatly change the meaning of a text depending on what style is used. So as readers and viewers, you guys have been spending your whole life watching films, reading books, going over your iPad, looking at websites and all sorts of different things. And so you have this knowledge already of what style fits certain different text types and what composers, maybe directors, use different styles or how they use different styles. So you already kind of know it. It's just that at school we now have to draw it out and make sure you really understand how it works. So I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to say an early goodbye. There's this text here which you guys can watch. It's only 3 minutes long, I think, but it gives you some examples of different genres. So if you'd like to watch it, keep watching. Otherwise, bye. Explosions, special effects. Sorry, I said that add to different genres and different styles.
Jump! Jump! Run!
Obviously you can't do that with a
I
real
know we've had a
motion
rough day,
picture.
but sure we could put all that behind us.
And nothing's going to stop you.
I think different music used.
Sorry, your car's pretty. Blue fit.
I'm going to give it to him. You'll see. I'll show you. You either die a hero. Usually his numbers, right? His numbers are outrageous.
Unfortunately, you caused some major harm to your heart, your liver, your blood.
You're gonna die. You'll die. I want more. More. You're gonna stop me. Would you like a chocolate?
Oh, thank you.
Your boy's different.
Are you stupid or something? Mama says stupid is as stupid does. And Jenny, I'm through with school school. You're not real. You're not real. With the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years.
I see your web of conspiracy has expanded.
I'm knee deep in the single most important case of my career. The clues point in one direction. Are you sure you want to play this game? I'm afraid you would lose.
Have become a whole new person because of you.
You know something, Clark? You are pretty much the only thing that makes me want to get it.
Get these in the future?
That's what I'm talking about.
We're running out of time. We're running out of clues. And there's an invasion coming. So really, we need to go right now.
All right.
Man carries a gun, he tends to use it. Dan, you dead? Pity.
I had just ordered a drink from that man.
These people deserve their lives back. Just make sure we're fighting the battle in front of us, not the battle behind.